Here are a few uncomfortable thoughts that people with chronic illness have all the time that they would never want to admit. Number one is how healthy people act like they understand. And I understand that people are trying to be nice and understanding and comforting to you, but they will never accept that they will never know your experience. But they act like they do. And no matter how hard you try to explain that to them, they still think they understand what you're going through when they really never will if they've never experienced a long-term illness, and it drives you crazy. Number two is when you tell somebody you cannot physically do something and then they continue to ask you to do that thing. It's like, no, I can't go on a walk. Like, what do you not understand about that? So stop asking me, because then you feel guilty and you feel bad, and then you're questioning, wow, am I making this all up in my head? And do I have maybe more energy or ability than I think I do? But then they just ask it again, and then the whole cycle repeats itself, and the whole thing drives you crazy. The third thing that is really hard to admit, but I know everyone with a chronic illness would understand, is that you sometimes secretly wish that people would be able to experience what you're going through and be sick for a while. I know that sounds really terrible, but when you have a chronic illness that nobody understands and you feel completely isolated and alone, and healthy people just like kind of act like you're being a baby all the time and just being insensitive, you secretly wish that they would be sick for a while. And I know that I shouldn't confess that, but I know other people will understand, and I don't want people to think that they're alone in those feelings. Of course, I don't wish ill on anyone. Actually said, I'm like, I would not wish my experience on anyone, but I just feel this way sometimes out of pure frustration. For me, I suddenly developed this problem when I was in my 20s. So it's like you go your whole life being healthy and having all these hobbies, and then all of a sudden something can take that all away from you in an instant. And it took away friends and my job and my car and hobbies and just everything that made me me. And then people wondered why I seemed so distraught and so sad, and why, I mean, not only am I dealing with this health crisis every single day and feeling all these ways, but then I lost my entire sense of self. That's just a few of my things that I know people will understand and relate to do with chronic illness. If you have any, make sure to leave them in the comments.